everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Candace. I'm a scientist turned rancher and a certified essential oil specialist. Are you ready to transform your health and well-being? Well, then stay tuned because today I have an incredible episode lined up. I've brought on a very special guest who has extensive experience in women's health. We'll be discussing the top 3 women's health concerns and some powerful natural solutions. So please welcome my friend Jules Tipton. Jules, would you like to introduce yourself?
I would, Candace. Thanks for having me here today. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to share some things. So my name is Jules Tipton, and I have been in the natural health and wellness world, the holistic world, for about 30 to 35 years. And I specialize in holistic approaches to health and wellness, and I'm really passionate about helping women as we age lead happier, healthier lives because I think we all want to feel good in our bodies. And I can promise you that there are habits that you can create and changes that you can make that will help you do just that. And I'm just thrilled to be here to be able to share some insights and maybe answer some questions.
Well, thanks a lot for that introduction, Jules. Clearly, you have a wealth of knowledge in this area. And we're just so glad to have you with us today to answer some questions. So let's dive right in. What would you say are the top 3 health concerns for women?
It's a great question. I think if we Google that, what we'll find is it'll be heart disease is going to come up, and breast cancer and other cancers that are specific to women. And then, interestingly enough, the third one is probably going to be anxiety and depression, things like that. These issues affect millions of women worldwide, and they have really, really significant impacts on our overall well-being. But here's the thing. Those challenges are really big and really scary, but all of them, every single one of them, can be positively influenced and improved upon by simply focusing on some choices that will support our foundational health, what I call our foundational health.
Well, those are really critical concerns. So what would be the traditional methods for dealing with these issues?
Well, I'm not a doc, so I'm going to be the first one to say that. I am not a doctor, but we all know that our modern approach is like to manage heart disease, for instance. It's going to be with medications like statins to help control cholesterol levels. It's going to, they might recommend some lifestyle changes, such as diet and exercise, but the go-to is going to be statins. And then cancers, they're typically addressed through things like chemo and radiation and surgery. Mental health issues are commonly treated with things like therapy and medications and antidepressants and anti-anxiety drugs, things like that. And obviously, these methods are really, really effective. We know that they're effective, but they also come with their own bag of side effects, undesirable side effects. And by design, they are simply addressing our symptoms. So when we approach things this way and we don't ask, why is the body replicating cancer cells? Why is it doing that? Why is the body in a constant fight or flight state? It's worth remembering that the human body is not deficient in statins. It's not deficient in chemotherapy. It's not deficient in radiation. And it's not deficient in an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medication. There's something much deeper going on. So we have to go to the root of it and figure out what that is.
Boy, that is so true. Many people are looking for more natural approaches to these challenges, as well as other less threatening but common challenges of aging these days. So can you share any natural alternatives or suggestions for dealing with these?
This is what I love to talk about. So there are 3 main areas. What science shows us, and you being the scientist, I'm sure you can give me a nod on this. What science shows us is that there are 3 main areas that create dis-ease or disease in the body. Number 1 is nutrient deficiency. Number 2 is too much inflammation. And the third would be toxic load. So let's look at nutrient deficiency first. Nutrition is a source for disease, and it's at the core of our immune function. When our nutritional foundation is super, super strong, then our body is supported and it's functioning optimally. But if we think of our body as a Jenga tower, and we know that the stronger that Jenga tower foundation is, like the stronger those bottom two levels of that tower are, the stronger the tower itself is. And if we think of our body that way, we have to think about our foundation being strong. So we can simply begin by choosing nutrient dense, whole foods, eating good, clean, really rich foods, and paying attention to what we're drinking as well. We've probably all heard it before, but we know that when we go inside the grocery store, we should shop the perimeter. We shouldn't shop the middle of the store, because when we choose those fresh, nutrient-dense foods, then we are taking the steps toward repairing and building that really strong Jenga foundation, that strong foundation in our body. And when we implement this practice, we can add those nutrient-dense foods. Then we can supplement with a really good bioavailable supplement that can fill in the gaps that are left.
That really seems simple enough in reality. And I have to say, I was in the grocery store a couple of days ago, and I actually found myself doing that very thing, shopping the perimeter of the store. It really makes a huge difference. And so you mentioned also inflammation as an area of concern. So can you tell us why that's a concern and what we can do to limit that?
I sure can. Yeah. And when I mentioned those three top concerns, they all work together. They can work together in unison to help us feel better, or they can work together if we aren't using them correctly or implementing them correctly, we can feel worse. Everything is going to build on the other. So inflammation is known as the silent killer, and chronic inflammation itself is linked to a long, long list of diseases. So there are several triggers to chronic inflammation, and probably the first one, and maybe the least well known, but I think everybody will give me the nod on it, is sugar. It's in everything. Processed sugar is in everything, particularly packaged foods and quick and easy drinks. Our food is loaded with it. And then we have to look at things like industrial oils, vegetable oil, corn oil, palm oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. All of those are also really major contributors to inflammation in our body. And you might have guessed it by now, but processed and packaged foods are loaded with those as well. So we need to really start reading labels, number one. That'll really help. But other things that play into that too, besides just the food part of it, are things like chronic stress. Really high stress will lead to too much inflammation in our body, lack of sleep, toxic load. And toxic load is anything that is in us, around us, and on us that we're just not even thinking about, but that can contribute to our inflammation as well. So when we pay attention to these things and we start to minimize them and remove them altogether, some of them, then that again helps us build that stronger foundation that we're talking about. Our Jenga tower becomes stronger.
Wow, that is such great information, Jules. And what was the third area that we can focus on to improve our health using natural solutions?
Yep, toxic load. Toxic load refers to all the chemicals that build up in our body from our environment, from those processed foods, from pesticides use, from personal care products. Our Product Safety Commission actually did a study, and they found that there are 150 chemicals that are common cleaning chemicals that are linked to ADD, they're linked to asthma, cancer, reproductive problems, respiratory problems, and more. So we can't always control what we're exposed to in other areas of our life or outside of our homes, but we can really benefit from limiting the toxins and the things we bring into our homes.
That is just crazy, that many side effects were found just from using cleaning products. And I know personally, I have really gone through my house and tried to eliminate a lot of those toxins. But that is such practical advice. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
Well, I think that getting to the root cause of disease might not always seem like a simple task. I think we have to look for physicians and practitioners that can help us walk through and figure out what the deficiencies that we're dealing with are and what those challenges are. And in the meantime, we can all benefit though from just focusing on building that stronger foundation by making wiser food choices, by making wiser drink choices, limiting things that we know cause inflammation in our body, and then removing some of those toxins from our home. It's really not that hard. We just have to start.
Oh, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about the role of stress management in women's health. What do you think are some effective natural methods for managing stress?
Managing stress is crucial for our overall wellness, for sure. I love to recommend mindful meditation, deep breathing exercises, sometimes just the simple act of good breath work. Knowing how to do good breath work, that can make all the difference in the world. Progressive muscle relaxation, massage therapy, reflexology, all of those things can help reduce stress levels. We know that. And as with anything else, when we move our bodies, that's going to help us. If you're starting to feel stressed, go move your body. Go outside, get some fresh air, move your body, go for a walk, do some jumping jacks, do something, move your body. That'll help lower that. Do some yoga, some Tai Chi, anything like that. Those are all going to help lower our stress levels in our body. And then I mentioned going outside, but that is, to me, that is a really simple thing that gets overlooked so much. Just the simple act of going outside, breathing in the fresh air, getting some particularly really good morning sunlight, and practicing some gratitude, that itself can really lower stress levels. We can add in things like aromatherapy, essential oils, eucalyptus, peppermint, lavender, Roman chamomile. There's so many essential oils that we can use too that we know have a chemical reaction in our brain, in our limbic primitive brain, that help to lower our stress levels. So it's a great way to unwind and relax.
You've shared so much valuable information today, and I know many of our viewers are curious about specific products that can support their health. What are the top products you would recommend for women's health and why?
I have a handful for myself that are absolutely non-negotiables. I use them every single day, and I think a really great way to start this is to start your day every morning by drinking a glass of electrolytes. This is what I do. I roll out of bed in the morning, I go in and I use the bathroom, and I go straight to the kitchen and I make myself a glass of about 12 to 16 ounces of electrolytes, and I down it. Very first thing I do, other than using the restroom. That's it. So that's a really simple thing to do. So before you have your coffee or tea, any food, drink that glass of electrolytes. And then my next non-negotiable is a really good collagen supplement. And I love doTERRA's collagen. I love doTERRA's electrolytes. Perimenopausal and menopausal women, I can tell you can really find a lot of benefit from the phytoestrogen essential complex and a bone nutrient complex. I think those are really, really good foundational tools to use. And then lastly, it would be like a Microplex VMZ, a bioavailable multivitamin, and some omegas. I think that we all need those things. And for me, those are non-negotiables. Every single day, I don't miss a day of doing those. So if we want to break it down as to why we're doing that, electrolytes, the human body is about 2/3 water. So we know for sure that about 75% of us walk around dehydrated all the time. And when we're dehydrated, we're not only just dehydrated from the water standpoint, but we're dehydrated from an electrolyte standpoint. And electrolytes are essential to keeping our cells charged and energized. So they're integral to various body functions like maintaining proper muscle and nerve function and regulating our fluid balance. So they provide major minerals like potassium and sodium and magnesium. And doTERRA's electrolytes actually have 4 different types of magnesium, which is different than anything else on the marketplace. And what those minerals do for us is that they help our cells stay hydrated and functioning properly. And if we talk about building that foundation, our cells are our body's foundation. So if our cells aren't hydrated, aren't electrically charged like they need to be, then that's just going to be a chain reaction on out. Our body isn't going to function optimally. So that's why for me, it's a glass of electrolytes every single morning, first thing. I just want to give my body that fuel first thing. And then the next thing I mentioned was collagen. And I love doTERRA's collagen. I have been taking collagen for years. And when doTERRA launched this one, I was really excited about it because it's different than anything on the marketplace. It's actually an award-winning collagen as well. It was given the award for being the best new collagen introduced to the marketplace. And it's great for those vanity metrics that we like, our hair, our skin, our nails, that kind of thing. We all kind of know that about collagen, but it's a vital protein that our bodies produce less of as we age. We start to decline in the amount of collagen we can produce from the age of 25 on. So when we can supplement with a really high quality collagen, then we help to maintain our hair, our skin, our nails, all of those things, helps the elasticity of our skin, helps reduce wrinkles, helps to support our overall joint function, and it also really supports those soft connective tissues, muscles, joints, ligaments, tendons, all of those things as well. Collagen is a definite non-negotiable for me. And then I mentioned phytoestrogen complex. That's a blend of natural plant extracts that help to balance our hormone levels. And it's particularly beneficial for women who are like the roller coaster. You're still ovulating, you're still having a period every single month, but you're on the roller coaster ride that can happen to us with those hormonal things. Menopause, perimenopause, everybody can benefit from this phytoestrogen complex because this helps alleviate our hot flashes. It helps alleviate our mood swings. It helps a host of other hormonal symptoms, and our body recognizes it and it knows what to do with it because it is from plant sources. And then bone nutrient, we all know about as we age, particularly women with osteopenia, osteoporosis, those kind of things. This is really nutrient dense in things like calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, crucial for maintaining strong bones. I think it's really important for women to pay attention, and I think everyone knows that. It's really important for us to pay attention to our bone health as we age. We don't want to deal with that. We just don't want to go there. And then the last two things I mentioned were a multivitamin. I really like the Microplex VMZ from doTERRA and their Omega. The thing that I really like about Microplex VMZ is that it's 95% absorbable for our body. It's bioavailable. Most multivitamins on the marketplace are about 20 to 30% absorbable. So all of that stuff that you see on the label we're excreting it. You're not able to use it because it's just not bioavailable to your body. But the Microplex VMZ, you're going to get 95% of what it says on that label, that you're going to absorb it. Your body's going to be able to use it. So that's why I really like those.
Well, I'm right on board with you there, Jules. I use most of those products myself, and I cannot, tell people how great those products are. But I know you touched on this a little bit, but can you actually maybe condense and explain how you use these products and fit them into your daily wellness routine?
Because I know when I say those are my core things, and then I start rattling it off, people are like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot. And in some ways it is a lot, but it's my routine. It's my routine to build my foundational wellness. So I start my morning off, like I said, with the electrolytes, roll out of bed, use the restroom, drink my electrolytes, non-negotiable every single day. And I've gotten to where I really, really crave that now. And I know that I need that. So I just go do that. So that's the first thing. If I'm working out or I'm working outside and I know I'm going to be sweating a lot, then I will, throughout the day, I'll drink another glass of electrolytes just to help replace that to my cells so that my cells continue to function optimally. So that's one way to do that. And then for me, I take my collagen. I like taking it on an empty stomach, and I have some reasons around that. So I am an intermittent faster, which means that I don't eat breakfast first thing in the morning. I usually eat about between 11 and 1 is when I first break my fast. So I break my fast with my collagen. I drink that. It's an empty stomach. And now my body doesn't have to go through any kind of really, a digestion process where it's got other foods in there with it that are going to minimize its absorption. It's being absorbed right away. And so empty stomach, 30 minutes before I eat, that's when I take my collagen. And then I take a second one and I take it at night before I go to bed. And I do that because I'm now 3 hours away from food. And I pretty much have an empty stomach. And now when my body goes to sleep, it's when it repairs. That's when it produces the hormone to repair. So now I've given it some extra tools in that really good absorbable collagen to now help do the cleanup and help repair things while I'm sleeping. So that's how I do my collagen. And then the phytoestrogens, your bone nutrient, your omegas, and your multivitamin, just take those with food. That's what I do. I take them with when I break my fast and I actually drink my protein shake or make my breakfast. That's when I take them. And then I can take them again at night with dinner if I want to. So take those with food. The rest of the collagen and the electrolytes first thing in the morning and on an empty stomach is my rule of thumb.
Thanks so much for sharing those insights. And it's really amazing to see how many natural options are available for managing these actual serious health concerns. Do you have any final thoughts or advice for our viewers?
I just think that the most important thing that we can do and the most powerful thing that we can do is to really focus on our overall health and wellness and building that and maintaining that strong foundation. It's really not that hard. It's just that we've kind of gotten away from doing that. And we are so inundated with fast foods and processed foods and things like that we've kind of gotten away from it. But it is a really simple thing that we can do that will benefit us exponentially if we just start to focus on that. Prioritize our health. Remember the top 3 contributors to disease. Those are nutrient deficiency, inflammation, and toxic load. The more we focus in keeping our nutrition on point and doing things that minimize that inflammation and reducing the toxic load, the stronger our foundation is going to be. It's just a win-win situation when we do that. This body's the only one we have. So we have to take care of it. We don't get another one. As far as we know, we don't get another one. So this is it. And so it's our job to take care of it. So stay informed, stay proactive. If you don't know for sure where to go or what to do, then combine traditional and alternative practices. Find those practitioners, those physicians that can help you do the things that you need to do. And there's a wealth of information on the internet these days. And I know a lot of it can get really confusing too. But if you're just looking at the basics, it's not hard. Think about reducing that toxic load. Learn to read labels. Limit the amount of processed foods that you're eating. Take good care of yourself. Move your body. These are all things. Build that strong nutritional foundation. This is how you build that Jenga tower to be really strong. It's how you limit getting more colds and flus and getting all the things. Build your foundation stronger. You can do it. You can do it. And it's not hard. You just have to start.
Wow, that is such great advice, Jules. Thank you once again for joining us today and sharing your expertise. I want to just, throw in here really quick that if you would like to join Jules and I on a workshop type of environment and learn more about these products, then there'll be a link here in the show notes, and feel free to register for that workshop. It's absolutely fantastic. As you can tell, Jules is a wealth of information, and you can find even more in that workshop. But Jules, for right now, if people want to follow you, where would they find you?
Instagram is probably where I'm most active, but you can find me at Purposeful Essentials on Instagram. And most everything there shares to my Facebook business page as well. But that is Jules in quotations, Tipton /Purposeful Living. So that's, like I said, Instagram shares to that page, but you can find me on both of those. And I'd love to have you follow me.
And thanks to all our viewers for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more health tips and insights. So until next time, take care and stay healthy.